I won't take up too much of y'all folks' time. I know each and every one is celebrating this day with the ones that's dear to their heart and closest to them. I will be reading out of the book of James, chapter 1, verses 19 and 20. So please bear with me. All right. In the book of James, chapter 1, verses 19 and 20 brings out, this is verse 19. Know this, my beloved brothers. Everyone must be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger. This is verse 20. For man's anger does not bring about God's righteousness. So I'm going to break this down. In the book of James, chapter 1, verse 19, states, know this, my beloved brothers. Everyone must be quick to listen. God get each and every one 2 ears, people. So I'm speaking to y'all, I'm speaking to myself. When a matter arises and it's something that you should want to clearly comprehend and understand deeply by using your insight, be quick to listen. No matter who's bringing the message to you, just humble yourself. Don't say nothing. Don't respond or react. Just be quick to listen. I guarantee you, whatever you take in, or whatever you are hearing at that time and listening to and taking in, you're going to learn something. Not only about yourself, but about that individual that's relaying that message to you. Okay? Slow to speak. Slow to speak. Say be quick to listen and slow to speak. Slow to speak meaning is, like I just said, you're fighting back your that ego, excuse me, that pride, so you won't speak. Be slow to speak, because most of the time we always assume that we know what the person's telling us, and we cut them off by reacting, by giving them our answer to what they're trying to tell us, which be wrong most of the time and all the time. So we shouldn't be quick to speak. We should be slow to speak. Like I said, hear the individual out. You're going to learn something. And also it teaches you more about yourself, how you can have self-maturity and self-control over your emotions, on how you respond. And also slow to anger. Slow to anger is, well, if the message being brought to you, you don't know the individual heart. But at the same time, you're reading their actions and their motives, because what they're bringing to you most of the time can be used to get under your skin, or at the same time, it's to see God showing you something. Have you healed from that wound? Are you triggered by it? Wherever this individual's coming at you, it could be coming at with positivity or negativity, which way it goes. Just listen to them. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Even if the individual has bad motives towards you, don't allow it to trigger you, because you're learning something more about yourself, what you need to do some self-reflection on if triggered by that. And at the same time, you're able to control that in that moment, then you'll know what you need to work on by going back into laugh and self-heal. And now that individual true motives to stay away from him or she the next time they try to come around and be in your space. And verse 21 brings out, therefore put away all filthiness and every trace of badness. Verse 20 brings out, for man's anger does not bring about God's righteousness. So in verse 20, for man's anger does not bring about God's righteousness. So we know that our anger does not bring about God's righteousness. Yeah, we can hoop and holler and go crazy thinking that God had wants to do that. Nah, that's something that the enemy, the opposite, totally opposite, want you to do, act out of rage, out of character. But we know that our anger does not bring about his righteousness. As long as you have self-control over yourself, over your whole being, once you go about learning and master that, then you know that the control, the containment by you restricting yourself, restraining yourself, that brings about God's righteousness. Not anger, restraint. That brings about his righteousness. Knowing how to have high emotional intelligence and knowing how to utilize it in a righteous way, not an evil way. So I hope these words were encouraging. You get a chance, go back in the book of James, chapter 1, verses 19 and 20. That's book of James, chapter 1, verses 19 and 20. Know this, my beloved brothers. Everyone must be slow to speak. Quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger. For man's anger does not bring about God's righteousness. I'm saying once again, the book of James, chapter 1, verses 19 and 20. Know this, my beloved brothers. Everyone must be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger. For man's anger does not bring about God's righteousness. So when you get a chance, people, go in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 19 to 20, and really pray on it and do some deep thinking on it, because it's going to help you throughout your everyday life for the rest of your life. I love all y'all. Peace.